Yo guys, Kayak Mike here. Skip to the end if you want the explanation of how I maximize my time on the water here in this one spot and use 3 different techniques to catch fish, all within a 5-hour period. But this is something Ryan and I have been talking about, and we actually use this specific example in this specific area in our seminars. So I'm going to go over it at the end in detail. Otherwise, if you just want to watch the fish being caught, enjoy. Come on, stay on. I was just in the middle of texting Ryan, messaging him, when you dragged here, did you have a million short hits too? Oh, now the fish don't feel that big, but hey, using a technique, fishing for somewhere for the first time ever in my life, getting a million hits, so I'm clearly doing something right, which is nice. I was literally in the middle of a message to Ryan saying like, yo man, did you get a million short bites when you did this? So this is probably a smaller fish, which is fine. It's a really small fish, sheesh. If these are the short bites I'm getting, I might change my tactics. I was highly considering changing up what I was doing to suspending holes and maybe walk a bait. Old baby channel rat. This guy ain't really worthy of much more time than he's already had. Peace out, bud. Alright, well I didn't get skunked, but that's not what we came here for. So we're gonna go see how bad this debris is if I spot lock in it. And then we're gonna go suspend it into a hole and see if we can walk baits through it. Ooh, there we go, there we go. Big hit. Oh, wow. Wow. Oh. Please stay on. No, I think he's off. No. How does something hit that hard for that long and not hook up? That was Jesus. Oh, there we go. Oh, this guy's still on. Come on, stay on. Stay on. Woo! All right. This guy feels decent. I want to get my other bait back down there though. This guy did not hit anywhere near like the first fish the fish I just missed, but the plan now is to I'm going to be in holes. I'm going to be spot locking holes, and I'm going to walk a bait, and I'm going to have a casted rod and 2 suspended rods out. This guy feels decent. Now the current is decent here, and we're coming up from 70 foot, so oh, this is promising. This is promising. That other one though that I just missed, man, this is a very good fish. I ain't mad at it. Yeah, but this is definitely not. This is not in the class of the fish that I just missed. Not even close. Note to self: reach down farther on the net next time. All right. I'm in the middle of tying up rigs. So, and I've got a hook just sitting here in between my legs. We're gonna land this guy, get our other baits back down. This guy might be a perfect slot fish, and I am at slot events, so I might have to measure him. Just in case he goes and flops out, you guys get to see him. I will have to give him a nice little burping real quick. All right. All right, we got our picture. We're going to give her a release. Then I'm going to do a little bit of administration because I am hosting a tournament right now, technically. So we're going to give her a burp, see if she's just fat or if she has anything in her. She's still floating. All right, well, I guess we didn't have to burp her. All right. Not what we're after. However, not going to complain with her either. Not going to complain with her at all. There we go. He just hit it and held on to it. Got this guy walking. There we go. Come on, stay hooked up. I felt him just gulp it up, and then I went to walk again, and there was no weight. All right, well, Nickajack Reservoir. I mean, I still gotta land it. Nickajack Reservoir was the first place I ever caught a fish walking baits. It was a little old flathead. This guy feels a little better than a little old flathead. Oh, that was so cool. Out of nowhere, I just felt my bait go. I felt it go thump, and I was like, wait a second, that was a hit, but it felt like a little baby hit. Oh, it's a good fish. I mean, I know the current plays a factor. There is a little bit of current, but so. These gollywopper rods, man, they don't bend easy, and that's a pretty good bend in this rod. This guy's just staying down. That's a good fish. Oh, man. So if I was in the tournament right about now with fish landed, I'd be at about 54, 55 inches. 90 inches, right, 95 inches or so right now is the current winning. If I didn't have casted lines out, I would. If I didn't have casted lines out, I would unspot lock. But since I have suspended and casted lines out, if I unspot locked, I'd be asking for a lot of trouble. Whoo-wee! All right. Well, I feel vindicated. Came down here. I can't fish my events anymore, but I'm still trying to fish during the events. And I like to see how I stack up against my peers, so that big one I missed and this one would have at least had me in the running for something. Watch this guy show up and be like a 25-inch channel cat. All right. What makes it even more fun was I caught him walking baits. It's like, that's what makes this even more fun. Having that big old, oh, and the wind's starting to pick up, so my fishing might be done here soon. I had this out there. If you can't tell, I'm walking with my Abu because I'm walking deep holes. I'm in a 60-foot hole right now. Behind me, it's about 70. I stationed myself right above it so I can walk the bait through the hole. My game plan right now is to anchor in front of holes. He's a decent, he's no monster, he's a decent fish. I'm pumped with him though. My game plan right now is to anchor in front of holes, suspend baits, and then walk one through it. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. He's not a bad fish at all. We're gonna get a quick little picture with this guy. There we go. That's a very good size. That's a good fun size fish right there. Good fun size fish. You gone. All right, Alright guys, so I did end up catching 2 more blue cats, and I'll put them at the end of this video, either of me releasing them or the takedowns and stuff. They were caught suspended in those 60-foot holes, in the front of those 60, 70-foot holes. Remember, Nickajack was about, I want to say, 5-6 feet high this day, so everything on Navionics was about 5-6 feet shallower than what my depth finder was showing. So now that we're done showing those last 2 fish, I'm going to bring you over here to this photo. This photo is the photo Ryan and I have used 10 plus times this year in seminars, explaining to people how they can maximize their time on the water from a kayak. Places like this is great because here's a defined channel ledge right here. You can drag that. So the current on screen is going right to left. This is defined channel ledge. You can drag that great. You can sit in front of these holes. You can walk baits through these holes. You can suspend fish in these holes. You can anchor up here. You can throw baits onto a ledge. That's a ledge going up, etc. Here is a back creek. Not a back creek. This is all flat water. But like here is an old channel creek that used to come into the main channel before they dammed everything up. Another great place to maybe suspend fish, etc. Maybe try and drag your baits up through here. So those are just kinds of things that we have always talked about. Well, if you get rid of that, well, one thing with Navionics, it's always changing. If you're on Avionics and it says update your maps, well, satellites, etc., boats, all that kind of fun stuff, they're constantly feeding data to Navionics and things are changing. I wish it worked as well on the Ohio River as it does down south, but like this is the identical spot you were just looking on that picture that Ryan and I were using in the beginning of the year. So it's changed a little bit, but it's still generally the same. I know that some locals down south tell me that the Navionics for them is just as bad as for us. Not even close. Let me give you an example. So this is Bullskin Creek, and if you launch out of Bullskin Creek, this doesn't exist. None of this exists. None of this exists. There's no hole. This is just the channel ledge, and this goes on for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of yards. This is what I mean by Navionics not being remotely close. Now, this hole might be off by a couple, feet, 50 feet left, right, top to bottom. If that's what you mean by Navionics not being close, all right, well, I wish I had your problem. This doesn't even exist. So that's what I mean by the Ohio River. The Ohio River Navionics is essentially completely useless. Down south on your slower current waterways, Navionics is very, very, very useful. So that first fish you saw, so when we talk about maximizing your time in the water, here, there's a launch right here, there's a launch over here, and there's a launch over here. For a kayak cat fisherman, you can only get so many places in so much amount of time, and especially if you want to tournament fish, you only have 8 hours. Sometimes you got to meet up before, meet up after, etc. This is a great area to tournament fish. So in our seminars, we would zoom in all the way here to try and not make it, painstakingly obvious what body of water that we are fishing on, because I don't necessarily want to burn spots, but for the sake of this video, I don't mind giving this education out there for free. So I parked right here, came out, and you see this channel ledge? So there was a good almost full mile an hour current right here in the main channel. Over here, it was non-existent. So the very first fish I caught, I was dragging this channel ledge. If I came out a little too far, it was too much current, and all my waves would be pulled off the bottom. But if I hung that ledge, and I had baits over here when it was shallower, and I had a couple baits over here where it was a little deeper, I was able to keep my baits down. So that first fish you saw me catch, I caught actually about right here. Here are those the barge ties. I caught it in between the barge ties, I'm pretty sure, and I started back here. I started way back here. So I catch a fish dragging, and it was nonstop, just baby bite, baby bite, baby bite, baby bite. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go find one of these defined holes over here in the deeper channel. So this is the entire channel. It's about 65 to 70 foot deep, this entire thing. That day, it was well over 70 foot deep. I came up to about right here because this was a hole. I came up to about right here, and I suspended baits. I got that giant hit where I never saw that fish, and I was walking baits, etc. So I get that giant hit here. I think I caught my two other blues suspended here as well. And then once that happened, I came down here. I anchored up right in front of this hole, suspended baits, casted one, walked the bait. This is where I actually caught that fish walking the bait. And then I did the same thing on this hole right here. I just parked right in front of it, caught another fish right here. So I was able to use all those techniques. And here's the thing: it's not hard to walk baits when it's slower current if it's deep. The deeper you are, the easier it is to actually walk and bump. And with so like just last night, I was actually bumping in like 1.7 mile an hour current, and I had to use a 4 ounce because I was bumping in 50 foot plus water. So I was going my kayak. I had my kayak going about point 0.4, point 0.5, so that was enough. I was using 3 ounces or 4 ounces, just depending on how close I was to the shore itself. Because the closer I got to the shore, the less the current was. So that's an explanation of what I did. And so this is Nickajack Dam. This is Nickajack Reservoir Lake right here. This is a great example of somewhere you want to target when you're fishing from a kayak, especially in a tournament. Because me, I don't put all my eggs in one basket when I'm fishing. I want to make sure that I have every single option known to me. Dragging was only producing little hits, so I switched over to suspend fishing, casting, and walking baits. I had that monstrous hit where I didn't catch the fish, unfortunately. Still caught more fish here. And then after a little bit of time, all right, since that technique produced a good outcome, I went to the next one that was similar, which is right here. I walked this defined hole, caught another fish that was really, this was where I actually caught that good fish, and I caught another fish here, and then I came down here and caught another fish. Now, am I going to do this all the time? Absolutely not. But every now and then, I don't think this is too terrible. Plus, um, a couple people have said like, "Hey, you and Ryan doing seminars. Like, what makes you qualified to do the seminars?" Well, this was an example that we were using, and I put it into practice, and it worked. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you liked this little breakdown at the end. All right, Kayak Mike out of here.